Now imagine you're on a basketball court, playing with your friend, and you want to pass the ball to him. How would you throw the ball if you are both standing at different ends of the court? Would you throw the ball horizontally, or would you throw the ball with some angle of elevation from the horizontal direction? Of course, you know from experience that for the ball to cover a greater distance, you must add some elevation to the ball. So the better option would be to throw the ball at some angle to the horizontal. Now, this type of motion, where an object travels vertically and horizontally at the same time, is called projectile motion. For easier calculations and for better understanding, we usually neglect other forces like air resistance that could be acting on an object moving in a projectile path, and therefore we only account for the force of gravity. We can say that projectile motion is the free movement of an object in a vertical and horizontal path simultaneously under the influence of gravity, neglecting air resistance and other forces. But if gravity is the only force acting on an object moving in projectile motion, then how does this gravity affect the motion of the object? Remember we said that an object moving in a projectile path is traveling simultaneously in the vertical and horizontal components. But if you were to look at the speed of the object in the horizontal direction only, what you would notice is that the speed is constant throughout the motion in the horizontal component. This means the initial speed the object starts with will be the same speed with which it will hit the ground. This also means that gravity does not affect the horizontal component of the velocity. But what about the vertical component of the object's velocity? When you look at the vertical component of the velocity of this object, you would notice that the ball starts with a high initial speed and then decreases gradually as it moves up until it reaches a maximum height where it stops momentarily and then begins to increase as the ball moves downward to the ground. But why is this? Let's illustrate a bit further. Assuming you hit the ball, causing it to have an initial velocity, notice that the vertical component of the velocity will be influenced by gravity. This means that the ball will immediately start to decelerate. Now, this is why the object in our animation starts to decelerate in the vertical axis as soon as the object starts moving. But then, at the highest vertical point of the object's motion, gravity overcomes every other force and starts to pull it down. Note, at this point, gravity is in full control and starts to pull the ball with a force F, which is equal to the mass of the ball m multiplied by the acceleration due to gravity. And this will be the force with which the ball will hit the ground. But before I go, remember that all this is assuming we neglect air resistance. Bye for now.